All right, today we're working on a dryer that is not doing anything. You hit the button to start it and it's dead. This goes for all your Whirlpool brands out there, whether it's a Maytag, Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, any of them. Like this back in the back, this is what you're going to be looking at once you get your panels off. The upper panel up there, don't necessarily need to take it off for this one, but what you definitely need to do is right here, where you see your terminal block. If you got it off, make sure everything's all unplugged and you're not going to sit here and zap yourself or anything. But just go ahead and, since you got it apart, give everything a little snug to make sure it's all nice and tight. That way you're not having any issues. So, that's it. When you hit the start button, you hear your timer activate and it's still not moving or anything. Quick little check to make sure that this is indeed what you need to do is by coming down and taking a look at your thermal fuse. So that little guy right there, that's your thermal fuse. As you can see, I already got the two blue wires off of it. That's going to be these two right here that actually connect up to it. Now, when you have your meter properly set up, and you want to check everything out, and these are for the guys that don't know how to use a meter, should have a little setting. They'll give you some kind of a tone, like a little speaker icon looking thing, like this guy right here next to the 200 right there. That's where I've got mine set to. And you can see it has a little music note right there, and it's showing me 1, saying that it's an incomplete circuit. Now when I take my two meter leads, put them together like so, you get the tone, you get all zeros. That lets you know that you have a completed circuit. So we go back over here to our thermal fuse that's in place. Check it out. So we'll put terminal on each side. Okay, notice what you don't hear. You don't hear a tone, you're not getting nothing, and you look over, still 1. Now, over here, we have, fresh out of the package, the thermal fuse. So when we actually touch our contacts, you hear, see what? Both of them on the contacts there, you can see it is complete, meaning that thermal fuse is good. So we have a faulty one here. You just take a 1/4 inch, get the same thing that you used to take the cover off, that's what you're going to use to get that guy out of the way. Pop out the old one. Stick the new one on there like that. Put your screw into place. So, and connector there, and your next connector there. Okay, now we got that reconnected. Everything else is looking good. Just make sure that everything is indeed what it's supposed to do. A little bit of dust, knock it off, no biggie. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to plug it back in, we're going to hit the start switch and watch this thing come to life and show you a few other things to check out while you got everything all apart. Okay, so now we got the machine. Yes, you have open exposed wires at that point. That's something you don't want to touch. Don't touch that part right there. But you go right over here. Make sure that your time's where it's supposed to be at. Everything else is how it's supposed to be. And with push the start button, we're now up and going. Now, that little hole right there goes right to the heating element assembly. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the glow of the element. If we don't see a glow of an element, then we need to check to see what else may have gone out. But typically speaking, well, there we go. Got the glow on the bottom. You can actually kind of peek through that hole there at the top. So we'll put a glow there. Or come down here and sometimes see a reflection on the floor. Either way, that's all good. What you want to check for at this point is while everything is going, check the cycle. See how it does. Does it heat up? Does it go out? Does it come back on? Make sure it does that a couple times. That way you can rule out the fact that you got a sticking thermostat. Because that's going to be something that will actually come back to bite you on the backside if you ain't careful. But you can do that while you get everything apart. and make quick work of everything. Just to let you know, start to finish and all this, even using hand tools without using drills or anything else, shouldn't take you more than about 30 minutes. 45 if you really want to be careful and testing everything out. But for the most part, about a half hour is all you're going to need, and you're back up and going. The only thing you got to do is just get a little thermal fuse. So we're still looking up here at the top. Just going to watch to make sure that does what it's supposed to do. Typically speaking, it takes about 4, maybe 5 minutes for the interior drum to heat up and everything to cycle over. Once you've done that, everything else is a cakewalk. So yeah, as long as all that checks out, then your no start situation has been remedied. And like I said, just make sure that your heating element's cycling properly. That way you don't need a cycling thermostat to go along with it. Other than that, that should take care of your issue. At this point, unplug it to make sure you don't zap yourself again. Put all your panels back in place, put it back in the hole, plug it back up, and you're done. Anyway, stick around, and if you liked and found it informative, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Click your bell icon to make sure that you do indeed get more notifications when I upload videos, and I will see you on the next one.